Back to our other breaking news story after every polling location in Fort Bend County was hit by a glitch.
Yes, it is a story that will be making headlines for days, possibly even months to come.
Again, we have team coverage from Fort Bend County. Let's start with Maria Aguilera. Maria?
Yeah, Len and Mia, well, Fort Bend County officials say this all stemmed from human error after the wrong file was uploaded into the system, causing widespread issues at polling locations across the county for about 3 hours. Now, this all started around 2:30 this afternoon, and by 5:30 this evening, everything was resolved. Now, officials say someone at the election administration building uploaded an incorrect file into the system, causing machines at polling locations to go down. We are told, however, that people were still able to vote. Most people were able to vote with the machines, and others who were not were given provisional ballots. Now, in a news conference about 2 hours ago, officials here in Fort Bend gave us an update on the issues that happened today.
This issue was administrative in nature and related solely to the incorrect file upload. It did not impact the integrity or accuracy of ballots cast.
This was just a manual process. Unfortunately, a very small mistake can lead to a very great outcome here. So a mistake with the click of a button, essentially.
This also sparked concerns about whether polling locations should have extended their hours. Now, we are told that the county judge does not have the authority alone to extend the hours at voting locations during a primary. That authority has to come from both political parties in the county that would have to agree to get an extension and then go before the judge. Ultimately, it appears that no decision was made, and polls did close here in the county about an hour ago at 7 p.m. Now, at this point, officials say they do not believe that the error was done with malicious intent. However, the county judge did say that he's calling for a thorough investigation to look into what exactly happened that led to all the issues across the county at different polling locations. Here, of course, we'll continue to follow this and then bring you the very latest. Live in Fort Bend County, Maria Aguilera, KHOU 11 News.
As you said, Maria, Republicans say there's going to be a full investigation. We'll see how that turns out. Thank you.
And now let's send it over to Matt Doherty, who's at Missouri City Baptist Church, one of the polling locations that was impacted this afternoon. And we know, Matt, you had the opportunity to hear from Congressman Al Green, who we now know was defeated tonight by Christian Menifee. Matt?
Yeah, we did speak with him, and he says this is a big problem. I want to let you know, Mia, that we did move just about 30 minutes ago from that Baptist church over here to the library. This library was among the many polling locations throughout Fort Bend County affected by those machines that went down in the middle of the afternoon today. Of course, everything is quiet now that the sun has gone down here, and those polls have been closed for about an hour now. Now, we did start the day earlier over at that Missouri City Baptist Church. That's after getting calls from voters who told us they were not able to cast their ballots. Andrea Dixon said she got there at about 2:30 this afternoon, but her identification was rejected before she could vote. We got there at about 4 o'clock, and we started getting more calls from voters saying they were not able to vote either.
My intention is to vote before I leave here. So I just told the posters, the people who work in the polls, I'm going to stay and wait. So I've been here since then. And I'll be here until they tell me that there's no way to vote. The good news is Miss Dixon was ultimately able to cast her ballot. However, she says several people left once the machines went down. There's no way to tell if they ended up casting provisional ballots or returned later in the evening once the voting machines were restored. Again, everything's quiet out here at the library here in Fort Bend County, where those polls have been closed for about an hour now. Lynn and Mia.
All right, Matt Doherty, thank you. Let's turn to the